Nigerian Engineers, President of the Nigerian Center of Engineers, and Chairman of Council. By the powers vested on me, hereby confer on you, Engineer Gbadebo Victor Adewumi, the Distinguished Fellowship of the Nigerian Center of Engineers. Congratulations.
In his comments on the sidelines after the fellowship was conferred on him, Engineer Victor Gbadebo Adewumi, who heads the transmission service provider TSP arm of TCN, said he was glad to have received the honor.
In Nigerian Center of Engineers, fellowship award is the peak, is the highest you can ever attain in engineering practice in Nigeria.
Engineer Adewumi, in his advice to younger engineers, said the profession requires continuous work to be up to speed with the dynamics of the time.
The reward for hard work, like we used to say in TCN, is more work. So you continue to put in your efforts, and one way or the other, you are silently being recognized. And definitely, as long as you are practicing your engineering without any blemish, of course, you are going to attain this.
Thank you for staying through with us on this edition. Join us next week on the same station for another edition of Power Wheel. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on these other platforms showing on your screen. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Thanks for being with us.
Hello, it's a warm welcome to Sports Ray, reaching live on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Gift George.
Yes.
My name is Jane, and I am 18, and this is where I hang out with my friends. We are deeply concerned about the problems facing Nigeria, but when it comes to doing something about it, we would rather sit on the fence.
Hold up. Dab. Yes. Dab. Yes.
Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries, classroom and television, events coverage, children's programs and variety shows. Always stay tuned to NTA Knowledge on the StarTimes platform, channel 359. For partnership, sponsorship and advert placements, contact us on NTA Knowledge. NTA Knowledge, learning to broaden horizon.
Another Wednesday, another News Extra night. And I welcome you to the package. On the show tonight, it's good news for rural dwellers as the Federal Executive Council takes power supply to them. APC moves to avoid mistakes of 2015 as President Muhammadu Buhari meets House of Representatives, returning and new members. Security concerns rank high today, with the Army, Air Force, and the President's wife moving to secure the country. We have stories on the successes of the rail development, governance, and business news. Of course, we are in the Easter mood, and we wouldn't be done without something on Easter. Watch out. The usual segments like foreign news, sports, and Thursday's weather prospects are very much on the menu. So sit back, relax, and let's take you around the country on News Extra with me, Fatima Abbas Hassan. We begin with the fourth arm of the government. The Federal Executive Council has approved a $200 billion credit facility towards financing the generation of at least 76.5 megawatts of electricity for rural communities under the Nigeria Electrification Project. Also approved is the North Core Dorsal Regional Transmission Project, aimed at creating regional power pool in West Africa to facilitate energy trade among participating countries. Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed, who announced this while briefing newsmen after the meeting of the council, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, as brought to you by our correspondent, Adam Sambu.
150 million out of the $200 million credit facility for the rural power supply is to be obtained from the African Development Bank, while the balance of $50 million will be provided by the Africa Grow Together Fund. The project, to be implemented by the Rural Electrification Agency, has solar mini-grid for rural economic development, productive appliances equipment for off-grid communities, institutional capacity building, as well as energizing education as major components.
The impact of the project, when fully implemented, will be that about 500,000 people will be able to obtain access to electricity, and this is about 105,000 households. There will be 8 universities that will be benefiting from this scheme, and about 20,000 small, micro, medium enterprises across different communities in the nation.
The facility for the regional transmission project, the minister said, is in the sum of $640 million, out of which Nigeria has the smallest component with a concessionary loan of $27.3 million.
The proposed project aims to connect Nigeria, Niger, Benin Republic, Togo, and Burkina Faso with a high voltage 330 kilowatts transmission line to facilitate energy trade amongst the participants.
Another $20 million loan facility from the French Development Agency has also been approved for the Lagos State Strategic Transport Master Plan, aimed at rehabilitating urban roads and the creation of a minimum of 8 quality bus corridors, as well as 2 multimodal interchanges at Marina and Mile 2.
The objective of the project is to improve living conditions and the inhabitants of Lagos urban area, and to promote urban development setting by efficient and effective public transport system.
In the transportation sector, the Federal Executive Council agreed to a proposal for an amendment to an earlier approval of $8.7 billion for Ibadan to Kano rail project.
What we sought for was a variation because the financing authority wanted to fund just $5.7 billion. And we need approval to now renegotiate the remainder as commercial loan. And that approval was given. Again, the President also approved that we include Oshobo to Ekiti.
The minister also secured the council's approval for the purchase of 23 operational vehicles for the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority at 474 million naira. FCT Minister Muhammad Bello, on his part, announced the approval of over 2.3 billion naira contract for the rehabilitation of 12.6 kilometers of road from the Gwagwalada Junction along Abuja-Lokoja Road connecting Paiko-Ore village, as well as the reconstruction of access roads leading to the lower Osuma Dam.
The first contract at Gwagwalada and this one at Osuma all keys in with the administration policy of twin development, developing the city center itself and then the surrounding satellite towns, so that really you'll replicate good quality infrastructure in the satellite towns to be able to make it easier for residents to either stay in the satellite towns or in the city.
Also approved by the council is a 1.3 billion naira contract for the provision of roads infrastructure to make it easy for residents to move into and out of the Abuja Cultural Zone, as well as a bill that will give legal backing for the establishment of the Nigerian Army University Bill, which will be forwarded to the National Assembly for consideration. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the presidency has announced the rescheduling of the Federal Executive Council meeting to now hold on Thursday, the 25th of April and Thursday, the 2nd of May, 2019. A statement by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Gida Mustafa, says the rescheduling of the meeting is due to the Easter break and May Day celebrations. Now, once bitten, twice shy. Know that adage? Well, if you do, so does the APC. It is therefore not surprising that President Buhari is making a passionate appeal to the ruling and newly elected members of the House of Representatives on the platform of the governing APC not to allow the mistakes of 2015 repeat themselves. That is, regarding the election of presiding officers for the 9th National Assembly. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports that the president was speaking at a special dinner organized in their honor at the Presidential Villa, Abuja.
The interactive dinner provided the opportunity for President Muhammadu Buhari, as well as the returning and newly elected APC members of the House of Representatives, to enrich each other's thought process on the best way forward towards achieving a more peaceful, stable, united, and prosperous Nigeria. This, the president said, is necessary in order to avoid past mistakes of allowing people that do not mean well for the country occupy strategic leadership positions critical to national growth and development.
I have a nasty experience in 2015. Nasty in the sense that just like this election, our party has the majority in both houses. But the members of the party in the Senate allows themselves to be divided into two, have to be thrown off, and PDP was given virtually the control of the upper house. So that house then damned the national interest. They must be seen nationally and internationally that they are in charge, not the executive. And one of the worst cases was that in one of the years, it took 7 months, 7 months for the National Assembly to pass the budget. Are we working for the nation or are we working for ourselves? What is their responsibilities to God and to the nation?
President Buhari said Nigeria cannot afford not to get it right this time, as the next 4 years will be very crucial to placing the country on the path to sustainable future.
I'm reminding you, please, in the name of God, get together and make sure that the party is in charge. For whatever reason, don't allow yourself to be cut into pieces and mismanaged. Have respect for yourself. Keep the trust given to you by your constituencies. And remember that ultimately, whether you believe it or not, you are going to appear before God and answer for your responsibilities.
APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole, who spoke in the same vein, said with 223 members in the 9th House of Representatives, the governing APC can neither go into coalition nor share what belongs to it with the opposition in terms of leadership.
From the lessons we learned from what happened in 2015, we are determined that in 2019, we will not repeat those mistakes. We will draw the appropriate lesson from those mistakes and we will move on. So I am confident, sir, that this night we have very committed Nigerians who are hungry to deliver on the promises that Mr. President made. The logic of partisanship is that we discriminate positively, particularly against forces of retrogression. There is no apology. Neither Your Excellency, Mr. President, nor the party expect that the National Assembly should be a rubber stamp. But what we expect is constructive engagement and constructive contestation.
Some of the members-elect spoken to described the engagement with the President as appropriate, timely, and reassuring.
The party, after taking into cognizance all factors, adopted the leader of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, for the position of Speaker, and also placed effectively the position of the Deputy Speakership to the North Central Zone.
The next level is guaranteed for the APC in the 9th Assembly, inshallah, because there's going to be a strong synergy between the executive and the legislature.
A similar meeting was earlier held with the APC senators-elect. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The police is your friend. That's a slogan that is expected to erase the seemingly negative perception of the police by members of the public as unfriendly. Each case of alleged extrajudicial killing by the police further exacerbates this perception. Ironically, even the police in some cases have been attacked and assaulted by members of the public. And in a bid to address all these, the Senate has passed a bill seeking to reform the Nigeria Police Force. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Onkwo has the details.
The impressive turnout of senators by 11 o'clock in the morning, in contrast with attendance at plenaries in the last few months, was a pointer that serious issues will be coming up on the floor. Eventually, that was the case. The first was the passage of 7 bills that were drafted. These include the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill 2019, which were declined assent by the President. The long-awaited Police Reform Bill was also passed. Senators spent more than 3 hours debating the pros and cons of this bill. Improvement in the police-community relations, more stringent penalties for officers who employ undue excessive force on a person leading to death or injury, and any person found guilty of assaulting a police officer carrying out his or her duty were among the provisions of the bill.
The establishment of community police forum is strongly recommended.
People wearing uniform to go and kidnap people, 5 million or imprisonment for a term of 5 years or both.
It's better you allow a criminal to escape than to lose the life of a citizen.
Other person to assault, obstruct and resist police officer or any other person aiding or assisting the police officer in execution of committed offense, and he's only charged with 100,000. It's too small, sir.
To provide for the framework for the police service and ensure cooperation and partnership between the police and communities in maintaining peace and combating crime, and for related matters 2019 is read a third time and passed.
The bill for the repealing and reenactment of the National Health Insurance Scheme, the Joint Admission and Matriculations Board Amendment Bill, and the Gas Flaring Prohibition and Punishment Bill were also passed. The bill seeking to provide for documentation and protection of domestic workers and their employers, sponsored by Senator Magnus Abe, and the one for the establishment of College of Forestry Technology and Research, ACAMPA, sponsored by Senator Gershon Bassey, were passed for second reading.
This bill does not only seek to protect the domestic workers, it will also protect the employers of domestic workers. I hereby move that the Senate
received the report of its committee on appropriation on the 2019 budget. Well, 6 constitution alteration bills were passed for second reading. This includes the bill that seeks to provide that state governors and the president should present annual budget 3 months to the end of the year, while the legislature should strive to pass the budget before the end of that year. Meanwhile, the Senate has adjourned to Wednesday, 24th of April 2019. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nko, NTN News.
And during its own sitting today, the House of Representatives has, in a bid to regulate social work in Nigeria, passed a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Social Work in Nigeria. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the bill was among 8 bills passed by the House at Wednesday's plenary.
Some provisions of the bill establishing the Chartered Institute of Social Work Practitioners include guidelines on membership and control of social work as a profession. The remaining 7 bills passed include those amending the University of Maiduguri Act, that of Obafemi Awolowo University and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, on matters relating to ownership of intellectual property and qualification of chairmen of governing councils.
To intensify efforts, freedom that will spare us all.
Of 2000
was ensuring peace and stability in the country.
And she also invited an expert who also happens to be a woman to talk to us as wives of governors of what we can do to complement the effort of the security agencies and also our husbands, what they are doing in the various states. And I want to say that it's quite a very enriching knowledge that we're going back with.
So women are the key to solving security challenges because they are at home, they can influence a lot of things with their family.
This is done at the right time. Her Excellency has expressed herself in the area of where she felt at her level she can do and what she has been doing in terms of mobilizing resources, relief materials, and sending them to those troubled areas.
Described as a woman given to love, kindness, sympathy, and empathy, the wife of the president has again demonstrated a love for peace and security of Nigeria and its people. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTN News.
And still talking security, as criminals in Edo State have learned to fly without perching, troops of the Nigerian army in the state are equally on top of the game, shooting without missing. These are words of commendation to the combatants from the acting governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the acting governor gave the commendation while receiving the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, on a working visit to the state.
Edo in south-south Nigeria has abundant fertile land that support the surrounding thick forest. The natural resources in mostly ungoverned space provides means of livelihood to many and cover to criminals. The intensity of the emerging threat requires intensified action, hence the deployment of troops to strategic locations in the state.
We have been faced with different militancy, breaking of pipe, S-men, kidnapping. People now ask us to send army to them, but we try to let them know that army really is not their duty to come into the city and be doing police work. But because of the confidence Nigerian people have in the army, so they don't know the difference. They just want the army to come because they know if the army come, their security is guaranteed.
Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai is here to appraise troops' welfare and operations.
So basically, this is why I'm here to look at the general administration and the operational capabilities within the South-South region.
The army chief was at the palace of Obo.
The Nigeria Air Force has secured some villages in Gusau, Zamfara State. The NAV Director Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikule Daramola, in a statement says this was accomplished in response to reports that high-profile armed bandits were gathering around Rafi and Doka villages of Mada district of the state, which is under the protection of a NAF Special Force team, the 207 Quick Response Group. The team was therefore dispatched to the area on the 16th of April 2019 to secure the two settlements and thwart the bandits' plans. 2 bandits were neutralized in the process, while others fled with gunshot wounds. Since then, the Special Force team has been conducting aggressive patrols in the area, especially the fringes of the forest, to forestall any reprisal attack. The NAV says it will sustain the operations along with sister services and other security agencies to flush out the bandits out of the northwest of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari has asked ministers to hand in reports of their works by Wednesday, the 24th of April, 2019. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity states that as the first term of President Muhammadu Buhari administration winds down, the President has asked for a comprehensive status reports on policies, programs and projects from cabinet members on their respective ministries, departments and agencies. These reports are to be submitted to the Presidential Audit Committee in the Office of the Vice President. A circular to this effect issued by Boss Gida Mustafa, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, also requests members of the Federal Executive Council to ensure that all outstanding memoranda they intend to present to the Federal Executive Council are submitted to the Cabinet Affairs Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, not later than Tuesday, the 30th of April, 2019. The circular also informs members that the 9th and 10th meetings of the Council have been rescheduled to Thursday, the 25th of April, and Thursday, the 2nd of May, 2019, respectively, in view of the Easter break and May Day celebration. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has again expressed satisfaction with the responses that trailed his engagements with the media and think tank groups in Washington, D.C., maintaining that the opportunity has given Nigeria a robust platform to place its cards on the table towards understanding the truth about happenings back home. Correspondent Anthony Forsen has the details.
At the Council for Foreign Relations, headed by Ambassador John Campbell, the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, briefed the Council on the state of affairs in Nigeria with the efforts of President Muhammadu Buhari in reforming the country towards the path of sustainable growth, given what it made on ground 4 years ago.
What impressed me most is that he believes that the conflicts in Nigeria have nothing or little to do with ethnicity or religion. That makes me very happy, because if at that level he sees our point of view, then I think it will make our messaging much easier.
The minister applauded the response of John Campbell, who gave the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration a pat on the back.
He also came up with a lot of very useful suggestions, which are based on his experience and his insight. He has a lot of confidence in the ability of Nigeria to rise above all this.
At the Center for Strategic and International Studies, it wasn't quite easy, as the institute took on the Nigerian government headlong, coming from the last general elections.
It offered me the platform to disabuse the minds of some members of the agency, especially in the area of the last election. They were of the view that the government was probably instrumental in the delay or cancellation of the election. So I have to remind them that we have a fiercely independent INEC, and that the government does not interfere in the programs of INEC. And also remind them that in 2015, INEC also delayed the elections, postponed the elections for 6 weeks. But that time it was due likely to interference from government because INEC felt they were ready for election.
The outing with a senior editor of the Washington Post, the minister simply summed it this way.
We exchanged very frank views and had the opportunity to let her know the success story of this administration in the areas of fighting insecurity, fighting corruption, and economic reforms.
While the media organizations express satisfaction with goings on in Nigeria, the think tanks on their part had words of encouragement for the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. In Washington, D.C., Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Abuja-Kaduna rail service 1,000 days after. How has it been? Find out when we return after these messages.
Inner strength? Yeah, that comes from the hard knocks that life throws at us. And we Nigerians, yeah, we know all about that. We don't stay down, we get up and fight. My name is Anthony Oluwafemi Olasheni Joshua. There's always been a big piece of my heart that's Nigerian. It always said to me, never give up, dream big. Because after all, we come from a nation of warriors, man. And that's why I believe in Glow. We have that same tenacity, that Nigerian fighting spirit. To win, you've got to step in again and again and again. If you believe in yourself, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Yeah, I used to be a bricklayer in England, but now I'm heavyweight champion of the world. Niger, too much. Glow, a halo.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Chief Audu Ube, currently invites State Commissioners of Agriculture and their permanent secretaries, development partners, and other invited institutions and agencies in the agricultural sector to the 43rd National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development, NCARD. The theme of this year's council is consolidating the gains of agricultural promotion policy for economic diversification and growth. The NCARD is scheduled as follows. Date, Monday 22nd to Friday 26th April 2019. Venue, International Conference Center, Umahia, Abia State. Time, 9 a.m. daily. Dr. Mohammed Bello Umar, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
In today's world, it's tough being a woman. But thanks to So Clean, Nigeria's #1 detergent with stain magnet technology, doing washing is a whole lot faster and smarter too. Only So Clean has stain magnet technology with an advanced enzyme formula that pulls out even the toughest trapped dirt, just like powerful magnets. No wonder Nigerians love So Clean. So Clean, for a faster, brighter, cleaner wash.
The Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, Senator Chris Mwabweze Ngige, is scheduled to inaugurate the Board of Directors of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund. Date, Thursday, 18th April 2019. Venue, Honorable Ministers Conference Room, 2nd floor, Federal Secretariat Complex, Phase 1, Abuja. Time, 11 a.m. All appointees are requested to report at the venue on Thursday, 18th April 2019 from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for registration and documentation with proof of identification, state and local government of origin certificates, and soft and hard copies of their curriculum vitae. For further information, please contact Ajibola Ibrahim on 0803-3207-531 or Olutoyin Arokayo on 0803-374-9215. William Allo, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
What is it that transforms the economies of the world? More than a nation's natural resources, it is about the quality of its people. The UAE has largely transitioned from an oil-driven economy into one that is knowledge-based. And by developing their human capital, others who have little or no natural resources have become global leaders in technology and innovation. We can also do the same. Combining modern skills with entrepreneurship development will give rise to enterprises which can increase the demand and capacity for skilled labor. Our mission at the Industrial Training Fund is to provide the knowledge and skills that can meet this demand, in recognition that this combination is the global currency of the 21st century economies. And so for us, this is what it's all about.
His Royal Highness the Emir of Mubi Alhaji Abubakar Isa Ahmadu CFR cordially invites the general public to the turbaning ceremony of Alhaji Ibrahim Hassan as Sarkin Dawaki Mubi, which will inshallah take place as follows. Date Saturday 20th, 2019, time 11 a.m. Venue Emir's Palace Mubi, Adamawa State.
Due to discovery of widespread examination irregularities perpetrated at the Heritage and Infinity CBT Center and Okuzi Computer Institute Comprehensive Secondary School, Ogunabo, Aba, Abia State, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has cancelled all the sessions of the 2019 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination conducted at the Heritage and Infinity ICT Center and Okuzi Computer Institute Comprehensive Secondary School, Ogunabo, Aba, Abia State. All those who sat for the ongoing UTME at the said Heritage and Infinity ICT Center and Okuzi Computer Institute Comprehensive Secondary School, Ogunabo, Aba, are required to reprint their examination notification slips to retake their examination from 7 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, 18th April 2019, at a new center already allocated for the candidates. SMS notifications and email messages have been sent to the affected candidates. Candidates who sat for their examination at Heritage and Infinity ICT Center and Okuzi Computer Institute Comprehensive Secondary School, Ogunabo, Aba, parents, and the general public are hereby notified of this very sad but necessary development. JAMB regrets the inconveniences created for the innocent and upright candidates. Signed, JAMB.
You're welcome back. This is NTA News Extra, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. President Muhammadu Buhari has commended one of the world's richest men, Bill Gates, for his consistent and generous support to public causes around the globe, and specifically for supporting the eradication of polio and HIV in Africa and Nigeria in particular. Speaking in a telephone call to congratulate the president upon his resounding election victory, winning a second four-year term of office, Mr. Gates, who said he was happy to be associated with the president, restated his commitment to the success of the administration as well as the progress, prosperity, and well-being of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He expressed willingness to do more for the country. Senior Special Assistant Media and Publicity to the President, Garba Shehu, states that President Buhari reiterated his opinion that Mr. Gates' wealth has benefited Nigeria's development and expressed appreciation for the call. Well, it's been 1,000 days of non-stop movements at the Abuja-Kaduna Standard Gauge Railways, inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2016. Despite what has been described as interesting challenges of large turnout of passengers, the project has been scored high in terms of quality, operations and safety. Oyinnaya Kalioka has more on that.
1,000 days of operation with more than 1 million passengers. It's been days of hectic challenges trying to control the large turnout of passengers from Abuja to Kaduna and from Kaduna to Abuja. Although witnessing some problems like inadequate tickets, many say it has been an interesting development that has set a standard that should be replicated across the country.
I'm here, right, to at least patronize it. It's more safer. The train is very comfortable and very fast as well.
The services are good.
Very, very good. This is what is obtainable in many other countries in the world.
There has not been any incident throughout this 1,000 days of operation of the rail line. The issue of safety is there, and the issue of economy is there.
Creating hundreds of jobs, the 186-kilometer standard gauge railway with 9 stations has not only eased the means of traveling, but has impacted on the lives of Nigerians.
And the work has really assisted me, helped my family.
Apart from job creation, the Nigerian Railway Corporation is now benefiting from new skills, training, and technological transfer from the contractors of the project.
I think we started with about 27 Chinese, but as of today, there are 8 now, because people were attached to them to learn the processes, and so far, so good.
Evolution is taking place at a very fast rate, so we need to update our technological know-how on a daily basis.
The success story of this project goes on, as testified by Omowumi Ajiboye, mother of 2 children and one of the traders at the Idu train station.
The thing that I'm not able to do before, since I start business here, I can able to do it, pay my children's school fees and support my husband, do many things.
Same goes other traders whose lives have been transformed since the coming of the railway.
Alhamdulillah, Allah.
As the ripple effects of this project continue to spread, the contractors promises to provide high standard quality in achieving Nigerians' railway modernization projects across the country. Oyinaya Kaloka, NTA News.
And still remaining with rail transportation, with the recent security challenges along the Abuja-Kaduna road, travelers are opting to get to their destinations by rail. This has led to an unprecedented demand on rail transport. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has assured that provision of more coaches, tracks and locomotives will in the long term ameliorate the challenges being faced at the Abuja-Kaduna rail routes. He was speaking on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria. Abdusalam Jubril has the details.
After prolonged neglect of the nation's railway, recent efforts by the government to revive and modernize the transport mode while yielding the desired results is not without challenges. Speaking on Good Morning Nigeria, Minister of Transport Rotimi Amechi expressed optimism that ongoing construction of railway infrastructure connecting various parts of the country and other steps being taken will curb the challenge of ticket racketeering at train stations.
Those of our staff that have been arrested, ordinarily, you would have said they will be dismissed, but they have to follow the procedure. So we allow them go through the procedure for punishing those who commit such crimes. Like I said that day when I was talking to the woman, I said the problem with the country is that people are not punished for committing crime. So it encourages people to be criminal-minded.
President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers sued for the utilization of Nigerian engineers in the rail transportation and development process, while the managing director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation urged Nigerians to desist from patronizing illegal ticket sellers at railway stations.
What I'm trying to say is that Nigerians should learn how to do the right thing. They should not encourage such practice.
We make sure that this system is sustainable, because when you do not domesticate a process or a facility in your country, it is not sustainable.
They agree that automation of the ticketing system will go a long way in solving some of the problems. In Abuja, Abdusalam Jubril, NTA News.
Well, if you are visiting Lagos and have any business along Apapa Oworonshoki Expressway, this story may interest you. The federal government has begun the construction of the 6-lane Apapa Oworonshoki Expressway with a promise to complete the project within 24 months. The Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Ade Damola Kuti, said while the construction lasts, traffic will be alternated between the carriage and service lanes. Michael Olaleye tells us more.
This is the Apapa Oworonshoki Expressway, a strategic gateway to the economic nerve of the country, linking the Lagos seaports to other parts of the country. Since the condition of this road began to deteriorate, the congestion at the Apapa terminal continues to be a major problem. About 5 months ago, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, inaugurated a project for reconstruction. Now, the ministry is moving to site with the hope of completing the project within 24 months.
The entire section is going to be a construction zone. The strategy that has been mapped out is that this project will be reconstructed on 3 different and independent gangs. By 3 independent gangs, the construction itself is going to be on rigid pavements. It's not on flexible pavements. What you have at the moment that's existing is flexible.
These stakeholders have designed a traffic management plan to guarantee seamless construction and free flow of motorists.
Within that period, we will know you cannot drive 100 kilometers an hour. Once work is going on the main carriageway, traffic can be diverted on the service lane. So it's not as if there is any alternative to some of these major roads. It's a major road, it's a trunk A road. It's a trunk A road, just as you don't have an alternative to Lagos Ibadan.
The reconstruction, which stretches from Apapa Liverpool axis to Oworonshoki and linking the 3rd mainland bridge, is funded by Dangote Group under the tax credit scheme of the Executive Order 007. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Windstorm has wreaked havoc in some communities of Bokos and Mongu local government areas of Plateau State. Rinret Silvanos Lot reports that buildings and other valuables were destroyed during the incident.
On a visit to the areas, Deputy Governor Sonny Tioden and chairman of the local government area councils expressed shock at the magnitude of the damage. The incident at Bunga community of Mangu took place on Friday, 12th April, destroying over 50 residential houses, churches, schools, and business premises. The Deputy Governor, Sonny Tioden, while inspecting the damage, assured of his support to victims.
Far more serious than what one thought. I came with the officials of the State Emergency Management Agency so that they can have an on-the-spot assessment of the situation and make necessary recommendations to the government.
Describing the disaster as a setback, the Mishkara Mbunga said the community has never expressed such magnitude of loss. A similar situation played out at various communities of Kwanon Kuba, Fofwe and Butura of Bokos, where animals, buildings were destroyed and economic trees uprooted. The chairman of the local government area, Yusuf Macheng, said the devastating occurrence has left the community helpless, as most of their resources has been invested in their farms.
I have just gone around and see the damages worth millions of nairas. It is very unfortunate. This is very unfortunate to the people of Bokos local government. I have never seen kind of a colossal destruction like this.
Rinret Silvanus Lot, NTA News.
What could have led to a national embarrassment at the Accountant General of the Federation's office in Abuja was averted through dialogue as a section of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria barricaded the entrance to the Treasury House. Emmanuel Ayimiro was there and now reports.
We just wake up in the morning and find our gates closed on matters that have not been presented officially. But a resolution has been reached, and I appreciate the intervention of the national leadership. They have shown that, yes, they have capacity to talk to their local unions and to do the right thing. I've never had issues, welfare issues in this office. The contentious issues or areas are that maybe what is being done is not enough, but we need to see them officially.
As a responsible national body, we had to come and intervene, and we've met the Accountant General of the Federation. We've had useful discussions, and I want to assure that we've resolved the issues, and peace has come back to reign in the office.
From all indication, peace has since returned to the Treasury House after the intervention of the national body of the Union. Our staff and visitors are moving freely without any harassment. The Office of the Accountant General of the Federation ensures that proper system of account exists in every department of the nation's treasury. Emmanuel Ayemiru, NTA News.
Well, it is a known fact that employees who receive the necessary training are more able to perform their job as a result of greater understanding of their responsibilities within their roles, and in turn build their confidence. That will enhance their overall performance to the benefit of their establishments. To this end, the federal government has presented a roadmap for training and retraining of its workforce. Adebola Brooksland Sunday was at the presentation of the need assessment document by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation in Abuja.
Training, analysts say, presents a prime opportunity to expand the knowledge base of employees. However, research has shown that many employers, especially in Africa, see training as expensive. In Nigeria, the civil service is the highest employer of labor and the engine room of government. The expectation of most civil and public servants are to quickly get acquainted with their jobs without formal training. After a survey, the project management team under the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2017-2020 came up with a training roadmap that will meet the needs of all cadre.
They get promoted, they are not trained. They get posted to different MDAs, they are not trained. So you can imagine if all these civil servants are receiving the training that is unique or peculiar to their needs, it will definitely have the result of improved service delivery.
When those structured trainings are coming up, opportunity will be given to every civil servant all over the country.
That document has really addressed almost, I would say, about 80% of what we require to conduct training that are transformational.
And you can see that every leg of that strategic plan is being directed towards implementation.
The unique selling point of the document is that it was designed and produced by civil servants themselves.
I'm actually pleased with the fact that the people that is actually affected is now talking about it. You can't be diagnosing me without me being there.
With the new policy direction of the present administration to constantly induct new workers, train and retrain others, it is expected that productivity will increase as they contribute their quota to national development. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of members of the board of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund. The 12-member board, headed by a chartered accountant, professional insurance executive, and banker, Mr. Austin Enajemo Isiri, and Mrs. Ijeoma Oji Okoronko as secretary, will be inaugurated on the 18th of April 2019. President Buhari has also approved the appointment of Comrade Ovie Kokori as the new chairman of the Michael Imodu National Institute for Labor Studies in Ilorin, Kwara State. The appointment is with immediate effect. The failure of institutions of government has been identified as major impediments to the growth of democracy in the country. This was the consensus of speakers at the just concluded 36th memorial anniversary of late Malam Aminu Kano. Fatima Sunusakarai has that report.
Malam Aminu Kano died exactly 36 years ago, a renowned politician who fought for the emancipation of Talakawas. Malam Aminu Kano's political radicalism started right from his youthful age, and his philosophy was consistent.
We are more concerned with hunger and poverty and disease, how to do away with them.
Many people across the world have been remembered for becoming outstanding in human affairs. Malam Aminu Kano is one of them. He is being remembered as a great apostle of the masses who spent his life and energy redeeming the oppressed. This assemblage of the like minds are disciples of late Malam Aminu Kano, who converge on Mumbai House to remember the late political icon.
Malam Aminu was a teacher and was a very, very honest person, very, very courageous.
Emir of Kano, Malam Muhammad Sanusi II, alongside notable speakers, described the contribution of the late Malam Aminu Kano to the political development in the country as legendary. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Karaye, NTA News.
In another forum, Senate President Bukola Saraki has drawn the attention of parliaments globally to education as fundamental to achieving sustainable development for peace, security, and good governance. This was at the general debate of the Inter-Parliamentary Union held in Doha, Qatar. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu was there and our reports.
Convergence of the legislators from across the globe marks the 140th Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. It was to find ways of ensuring adherence to UNESCO's recommended 15 to 20% budgetary funding for the education sector. Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki, represented by Senator Kabiru Ibrahim Gaya, says Nigeria's legislature remains guided by the fact that education is not a luxury.
It's when we have better educated youth that the danger of insecurity will be significantly reduced so that democracy can thrive, paving way for social economic progress.
The theme draws attention to education as one of the cardinal issues to consider for fundamental human right, which is central to the development of citizens.
We are, however, addressing the shortfalls, which combined strategies to enhance peace, security, and the rule of law.
As part of the effort by the Nigeria's legislature to ensuring that education is built on a solid foundation, the Senate made reference at the forum to the Universal Basic Education Commission Amendment Act, which guarantees free and compulsory education for all Nigerians up to secondary level, and Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act 2011 to include colleges of agriculture as beneficiaries of the fund. Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
Coming up next is a special report on World Banana Day. Interesting, right? Well, stay tuned as News Extra returns in just a moment.
Data. We can't live without it. Share it. Impress with it. Borrow it. Sell with it. Up here, calm down, breathe. Celebrate with it. Breathe easy, knowing that with Glow, data is oxygen.
Back for a minute to the old school. Everybody love me when I do what I do, cause when I come through I got the power of cool. The power of cool.
Thank you, man. Oga from what zone? I bet some me want malaria medicine for you.
You don't run malaria test, so?
Of course not. I want that one when I be they buy before chloroquine.
No more before malaria medicine for here. Oh. Now confirm malaria medicine will be artemisinin-based combination therapy, ACT, where they kill malaria pata na here the same.
ACT. Like to the art film.
No, ACT, the one where they act for the malaria, where they live for inside our body, like person when they pay rent, come kill them, finish at one time.
You
don't go.
Yes, so if you get symptoms like fever, always test and confirm. Say you get malaria. Go ask for ACT, artemisinin-based combination therapy from your pharmacy. Now, Government of Nigeria and Rollback Malaria Partners bring you now this message. For a malaria-free Nigeria, play your part.
Activate your life, be who you want to be. Time to get active. Yes, the time is now. Come on, get active. Yes, you can do it if you try.
Start an active life with the power of vegetables and fruits. Chivita Active. Be active. Do more.
Getting around heartburn and indigestion can be tricky if you eat too much. Eat food that is too spicy or greasy, or lie down after eating. Heartburn and indigestion could always be around the corner. When they come, be prepared with Gaviscon Double Action. It works within 3 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours. Gaviscon Double Action. Many causes, one solution.
I thought leaving the country was the best decision for me and my future.
I left for a better life.
We were picked up by immigration officials and sent to a detention camp.
I spent 8 months in the detention camp.
There was no food, no water.
I saw people being beaten like animals.
Some women were raped. Some women were sold as slaves.
I thought I would never see my loved ones again.
I have made the biggest mistake of my life.
I have wasted all my savings.
I have to start all over again.
Migration is a human phenomenon which cannot be stopped. But if we choose to migrate, we advocate that it should be done in a safe, orderly, regular and dignified way, and not in a dangerous and tortuous manner.
This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons.
We're glad to have you back with us on News Extra tonight. Now in this segment, we kick off with business news. So let's go to our Lagos studios live to join Abolade Salami. Good evening, Abolade.
Good evening, Fatima, and welcome to Business News segment. We'll start tonight from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The impressive first quarter result earnings by the banking sector has helped restore investors' confidence in the capital market with a 2-day bullish run. Market watchers say investors need to understand their risk profile before trading on any stock. The sound of the gong signifies the close of stocks for each trading day. The NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization in the previous week depreciated by 0.19% to close the week at 29,560.47 basis points and 11.103 trillion naira. The market sentiment was felt by investors at the beginning of trading session this week as the market dipped by 0.22% to retain the NSE All-Share Index performance at the 29,000 psychological line. With a rebound of the market for 2-day trading session, market watchers say the rally is projected to continue to the last trading session of the week.
Those results are impressive and they have given the impetus for investors to demand for more stocks, especially stocks of enterprises at the forefront of the banking sector. And you know, the banking sector drives activities in the capital market, and with the strength of their fundamentals now, investors' confidence appears to be improving as a result of the impressive nature of the results that have been released by the major banks in the first quarter. Some of them are actually very, very fantastic.
Meanwhile, the Consumer Goods Index performance has declined by 8.12% month to date, while NSE Industrial and NSE Banking sectors were down 7.12% and 6.33% month to date. And still staying on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. In the meantime, investors after close of midweek trading gained over 84 billion naira as NSE All-Share Index inched up by 0.76%. Here is details of today's trading.
And now to stock market. Trading extended its bullish run, appreciating by 0.76% to close the all-share index at 29,970.86 basis points. Volume of shares traded were 216 million, valued at 3.22 billion naira, which exchanged hands in 4,025 deals with market capitalization of 11.25 trillion naira. Nestle, Dangote Cement and Nigerian breweries posted gains, while Seplat, Guarantee and CCNN finished in the red territory. On sectoral performance, NSE Insurance closed in the green, while NSE Banking, NSE Industrial and NSE Oil and Gas declined in figures, depreciating by 0.25%, 0.37%, and 1.40%. And that's it on Stock Market Report.
Away from equities markets, an economic expert, Bola Diabola, says for the reduction in inflationary rates to have impact on the lending rate, productive and export earnings must improve. The former chairman, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter, says the policy of the federal government on economic diversification has significantly impacted on the purchasing power of consumers.
And then, of course, our fiscal and monetary policies affect the direction of the inflation. And then, because we are a monoproduct economy, whatever happens in the oil globally affects our general price level here. But the key thing is for the rate to come down to a reasonable rate such that interest rates can also come down and then business activities can go up.
And that's a wrap on business news segment. The news continues shortly with Fatima in Abuja. Good evening.
Many thanks, Adi. Many thanks. The Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Unit Zone A, Lagos, has intercepted 113 exotic vehicles, drugs and other items with a duty-paid value of 2 billion naira. The controller, Aliyu Mohammed, said the seizures were made within Lagos and Shagamu. Paul Omukago has the details.
These are the drugs seized by customs at Mile 2 Lagos and the border areas between Ogun and Oyo states in Shagamu. There are 600 cartons of codeine syrup, 398 cartons of diclofenac, 1,056 cartons of chest and lung tablets, 1,000 sachets of tramadol, and 49 cartons of paracetamol. Concerned about the rate these drugs are imported into the country, Comptroller Aliyu Mohammed says the service, in collaboration with other security agencies, is working hard to stem the tide of illegal importation of drugs, some of which are controlled.
Anything that is coming to the country from the border illegally without NAFDAC number, it cannot be a good drugs. As procedures you do for the seizure. When you seize, you have to send for condemnation. Because when you condemn, it's not a government property. Then they will gazette it. Then it's left for government to do what they are supposed to do with it. They may decide to destroy it.
The controller also expressed concern over the importation of vehicles through the land borders, most of which, he explained, have dangerous items concealed in them. 13,810 bags of rice, vegetable oil, and fairly used tires were the other seizures. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
Now let's talk about banana. Yes, banana. Today is World Banana Day. But why is this fruit so important that it's being celebrated? What are the health benefits of the fruit? Our agriculture correspondent, Musa Baba Aliyu, tries to find answers to these questions as the world marks Banana Day.
Banana is a fruit that is commonly available in every season across the globe and among the most consumed in Nigeria.
It is either I eat it with groundnuts or I eat it all by itself.
I love banana because of, one, the flavor and the sweetest part of it.
The soft, sweet fruit with an attractive flavor is eaten in different ways and cuisines.
So banana nourishes my body and it makes me to have better digestion whenever I eat.
I don't like it because of the sugar content.
In the banana?
Yeah. Because one banana contains full length of sugar cane.
Bananas, they help us to regulate our blood pressure and heart activity because they are rich in potassium and low in sodium. So sodium actually causes high blood pressure. So banana being low in sodium and rich in potassium, it helps us to regulate blood pressure in that way.
The World Banana Day is not only about banana consumption, but the entire value chain of the fruit and the socioeconomic benefit attached to its production. This is one of the biggest banana plantations here in Abuja. The plantation is located in the central area with over 10,000 trees producing fruits that have been attracting buyers from within and outside the city. Babangida Aliyu owns this plantation. He says banana business is lucrative. Our buyers come from Abuja, Kefi and Gwagwalada area, he says. This is another plantation which is expected to be the biggest in this part of the country, located along Abuja-Gwagwalada Road. Minister of Agriculture Adu Ogbe, who visited the farm, decried the influx of foreign banana into the country in spite of the fact that Nigeria produces good and different species of banana.
We intend hereafter to bring in young Nigerians to take up 1 hectare each or thereabouts and then multiply following the tutelage and guidance of Contech. And then they will uptake everything and ship to Europe.
Now, research has shown that there is no specific way of eating or peeling banana before eating. However, when you eat your banana, you are expected to dispose the skin properly because it can cause accident. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Well, here is wishing all a happy Banana Day. Moving on, Reckitt Benckiser, a leading cleaning and hygiene brand, is intensifying awareness campaign on improved hygiene and sanitation through an initiative tagged Niger. Reckitt Benckiser is doing this through its lead brand, Dettol, in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. Jennifer Igwe has more on that.
Has been ranked among the nations with significant disease burden and high under-5 mortality rate. Many die yearly from diseases such as cholera and diarrhea, which can be prevented by proper hand wash habits and hygiene. Against this backdrop, Reckitt Benckiser, a household brand in antibacterial products, through its lead brand Dettol and in conjunction with the Ministry of Water Resources, has launched an initiative tagged Clean Niger. It is an integrated multi-level campaign aimed at creating awareness on hygiene and driving behavioral change.
Personal hygiene, hygiene for my family, hygiene for the society is almost the anchor on which life is built on. So last 7 years, Dettol has been working with pregnant women, children in driving awareness, education and behavior change. We have touched about 4 million children, 5 million pregnant women in driving this education. So it's just that today we have given it a campaign name and we want to make it bigger.
We have Dettol, so we have Dettol antiseptic liquid. Dettol, the antibacterial brand, plays a key role in this campaign when it comes to educating on good hygiene habits, because they just go together.
Award-winning actor and comedian Funke Akindele Bello, the brand ambassador of the Clean Niger project, speaks on the initiative.
This Clean Niger initiative is very, very important for all of us. You understand, because our children now, go make them come catch diseases where we feel prevent, where we feel stop ourselves by say we wash our hands after using toilet, we wash our hands before we cook food, touch food, we wash our hands before we take care of our children.
The management of Reckitt Benckiser says the Clean Niger initiative is long-lasting and expected to reach all parts of the nation. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
You're watching the news with the extra touch. More reports when News Extra returns in just a moment. Join us again.
Oh,
Madam.
That's it. Those naira are enough.
Hi, dear. Helen, you got so much even after spending so little.
Savings is such a necessity.
You save everywhere, but here, you lose it all.
How?
With this?
Impossible.
New Tika Apic 10X. Even after applying up to 1 liter of your solution multiple times, you won't get the same cleaning that Apic gives you in a single round.
And the expense?
Far less compared to your 1 liter of solution. New Tika Apic. Toughen cleaning, toughen savings.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily in unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilets, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 Cup Full for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Introducing Dettol Antiseptic Liquid in Sachet for only 40 naira.
Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
You're welcome back. The federal government has declared Friday the 19th and Monday the 22nd as public holidays to mark the Easter celebration, which is Good Friday and Easter Monday. The Minister of Interior, Abdurrahman Bello Dambazau, who made the declaration, enjoins Christians to emulate the exemplary attributes of Jesus Christ. He urges Nigerians at home and abroad to use the occasion to pray for the peace, unity, and progress of the country. In the spirit of the season, the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, John Cardinal Onayeko, has urged Catholic priests to renew their priestly calling on a daily basis to replicate the spirit of love and service that the death of Jesus Christ signifies. This admonition came during his sermon at the Chrism Mass held at Our Lady Queen of Nigeria Catholic Cathedral, Abuja. Ngozi Sylvia Technico was there. And now reports.
As part of activities ushering the Easter celebration, Chrism Mass to members of the Catholic community brings to conclusion the Lent period in a few days' time and also remind worshippers of Christ's institution of the Holy Sacraments. The event affords the priesthood the opportunity to renew their priestly vow in obedience and adherence to the Catholic creed in serving the Church. John Cardinal Onayeko advised the priests and Christians to live a life that shows that the death of Jesus Christ is not in vain.
If Jesus died for all, we can be sure he has died for every Nigerian. So let us put our nation in our prayers during these days. And may the blood of Christ shed on the cross be not shed in vain for any of us. Amen.
The climax of the Chrism Mass is a blessing of oil. an old tradition of the Catholic Church that allows for the usage of only blessed oil for the whole year.
On the day of your priestly ordination,
all the priests will all be gathered today for the first time again, as they did before at the Last Supper, renew their commitment.
We are expected to continue to do those things that you are doing so that you will always be very close to God.
In all, the prayers of the parishioners is for a life of sacrifice and service to God and humanity. In Abuja, Ngozi Silva, Technical, NTA News.
And as Easter approaches, media practitioners have been encouraged to continue to pray for the nation, as prayers, they say, is the key to sustainable peace, unity and progress. This was emphasized in Abuja at the Christian Media Fellowship Practitioners in Nigeria Easter program, organized at the NTA Chapel of the Resurrection. Ruth Aguele was there in our reports.
The Holy Book says, where 2 or 3 are gathered, the Holy Spirit is there in their midst. This signifies gratitude to Jesus Christ for giving his life for mankind. And these media practitioners have assembled in oneness to commemorate the death and resurrection of Christ. Special presentation by the different media houses choir rented the air in exaltation of the Most High God. Special prayers were also offered for Nigeria, for reorientation of values, unity, and for media practitioners to be agents of change for nation building. The Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who was represented by the Executive Director Engineering, Stephen Moses Okwanachi, appreciated the combined efforts of media houses and urged them to continue to pray for the leadership of their organizations for sustainable growth.
Without God, we can't do anything. But with God, all things are possible. And I have no doubt in my mind, with the power of his resurrection, NTA will move higher and higher and will go to the greater heights.
If Jesus was crucified, he died and buried and rose again, meaning that all hope is not lost.
This hope has quickened our spirit as Christians to live a life of light.
So let's turn to God as a nation, let's turn to God individually as families. If the number of people that troop to church and troop to mosque, if those people are sincere in what they are doing to God, I believe this country will have moved forward more than we have.
They said Easter celebration is a time for reflection for Christians worldwide and a plethora of worship as Christ is risen. In Abuja, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps Marshal, Boboye Oyeyemi, has approved the massive deployment of personnel across the corridors of the Federation. Spokesperson of the Commission, Bisi Kazim, announced that the proactive patrol and rescue operations, scheduled to start on Thursday, the 19th of April to Tuesday, the 23rd, will involve both regular and special marshals to address and checkmate defaulters of traffic regulations. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
With the expected increase of vehicular movement to different locations for Easter celebration, the FRSC Corps Marshal has directed the commencement of aggressive public enlightenment campaigns across motorparks, terminals, amongst other flashpoints to sensitize motorists on the basic rules and practices expected from drivers this season.
I know, say, I dey travel.
This time around, the Corps will be coming hard on traffic road violators with particular focus on overloading, expired vehicular particulars, lane indiscipline, speed limit defaulters, and other road violations.
We have deployed over 35,000 personnel, both regular and special marshals, to man about 16 critical areas where we have known, where they are known as black spots. About 200 mobile courts have been established to summarily try road traffic offenders.
While advising motorists to exercise caution during this season, the Corps has instituted measures to ensure safe travels before, during and after Easter celebrations. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajay, NTA News.
The Golden Eaglets make Nigeria proud again. The details of this when we return after the break. Good to have you join us again. And the Goodswill Apabio International Stadium, Uyo, was agog with excitement as the UEFA Champions League trophy arrived the stadium for a star-studded match, which brought the tour to an end. Eddie Diongeba reports that the highlight of the match, sponsored by Heineken, was the outstanding performances of the UEFA Champions League tour ambassador, Piyol Okocha.